Imagine the joy of waking up to the melodious tweets of birds right in your backyard. What if you could turn your garden into a bustling hub for these delightful creatures? Let's explore how simple additions like bird feeders and fresh water baths can make a world of difference. Bird feeders are not just accessories, they're essential tools for attracting a variety of birds. Consider the sunflower seed feeder, a favorite among finches and cardinals. The oil-rich seeds provide the high energy these birds need, especially during the colder months. On the other hand, suet feeders cater to woodpeckers and nuthatches, offering them a fatty treat that's perfect for their high metabolism. But why stop at seeds and suet? Nectar feeders attract the dazzling hummingbirds, turning your garden into a live canvas of fluttering colors. And let's not forget the simple grain feeders that could delight sparrows and doves. The key here is variety. By offering different types of food, you're more likely to see a diverse range of birds gracing your garden. Now, on to the installation of these feeders. Placement is crucial. Ensure feeders are high enough to keep the birds safe from ground predators, yet visible enough for you to enjoy their antics from a window. Also, proximity to bushes or trees can provide quick refuge for these birds from aerial predators. Equally important is the inclusion of fresh water sources. A bird bath can be a focal point in your garden, providing a place for birds to drink and bathe, keeping their feathers in optimal condition for flight and insulation. During winter, consider a heated bath to prevent the water from freezing, ensuring your feathered friends always have access to water. Regular maintenance of both feeders and baths is vital. Clean them periodically to prevent the spread of disease and refill them regularly to keep the birds coming back. So, fill up those feeders and watch as your garden becomes a hotspot for our feathered friends. Whether it's the vibrant flutter of a hummingbird or the cheerful chirp of a house sparrow, your garden is set to be enriched with the simple joys of nature. Plants do more than just beautify your garden. They provide essential resources for wildlife. When setting out to create a haven for birds, butterflies, and small mammals, the choice of plants can make all the difference. Native plants are particularly valuable because they are adapted to the local climate and soil conditions, making them more resilient and requiring less maintenance than their non-native counterparts. But more importantly, these plants have evolved alongside local wildlife and are inherently equipped to offer the nutrients and shelter these creatures need. For instance, consider the role of flowering plants. These are not just visually appealing, they are vital sources of nectar for butterflies and bees. By choosing a variety of species that bloom at different times of the year, you ensure a steady supply of food for these pollinators. Then, there are the berry-producing shrubs. These are real heroes when it comes to wildlife gardening. Plants like holly, juniper, and native viburnums don't just provide a splash of color. Their berries serve as a crucial food source during the colder months when other food options are scarce. What's more, the dense foliage of these shrubs offers excellent nesting spots and protection from predators. Now let's talk about the actual planting, say, of a berry bush. The process is simple yet rewarding. Start by choosing a spot that receives ample sunlight, as most berry bushes thrive in bright environments. Dig a hole twice as wide as the root ball of your shrub, but no deeper. This ensures that the roots have enough room to spread out without being too deep, which could cause waterlogging and root rot. Once planted, give your shrub a good watering and mulch around the base to conserve moisture and suppress weeds. By integrating these plants into your garden, you're not just planting, you're providing a lifeline to the local wildlife. Each plant adds to the complexity of your garden ecosystem, supporting various species throughout the year. Remember, the right mix of plants can turn your garden into a year-round dining spot for wildlife. Every creature needs a safe haven, and your garden can offer just that with a few simple additions. Shelter in a garden isn't just a luxury, it's a necessity for the survival and prosperity of wildlife. Small animals, from hedgehogs to toads, and even beneficial insects, all need places to hide, rest, and hibernate. By creating shelters, you not only protect these creatures, but also encourage a more balanced ecosystem right in your backyard. Let's start with log piles. These are perhaps the simplest shelters to create. By stacking logs and branches, you provide nooks and crannies that many small animals and insects find irresistible. These natural hideaways mimic the fallen wood found in forests, offering a damp, cool environment that's ideal for amphibians like frogs and salamanders. Next, consider the benefits of leaf litter. While it might be tempting to rake up every stray leaf, leaving them be can create a vital shelter for wildlife. Leaf piles offer excellent insulation against cold weather and serve as excellent hunting grounds for ground-feeding birds looking for insects. They also break down over time, enriching the soil with nutrients. Moving on, brush piles are another fantastic option. Similar to log piles, they consist of twigs, branches, and even old Christmas trees. Positioned in a quiet corner of your garden, they provide a dense, protective shelter from predators and harsh weather. They're particularly beloved by small mammals and birds who may use them for nesting. Now let's talk about setting up a hedgehog house, a delightful project for any wildlife enthusiast. This small wooden house is designed to be safe and snug, providing hedgehogs with a place to sleep during the day and hibernate in winter. Place it in a quiet, sheltered part of your garden, preferably with a cover of leaves or vegetation to make it more inviting. With these shelters in place, your garden will be a cozy retreat for small animals in all seasons. By integrating these simple structures into your garden, you create a sanctuary that supports and nurtures the local wildlife, making your green space a true haven for nature's wonders. Water is the elixir of life, and a small feature can make a big splash in your garden. Imagine stepping outside to the soothing sound of water trickling in your garden, a sight of birds playfully splashing in a bird bath, and butterflies flitting from one flower to another. This isn't just a scene from a nature documentary, it's a possibility for any garden, and it starts with adding a water feature. A pond, no matter how small, transforms a garden into a dynamic ecosystem. It becomes a hub of activity, attracting everything from birds to beneficial insects and even amphibians. If space allows, consider a small, shallow pond. The key is to keep it accessible and safe, with gentle slopes so that wildlife can easily enter and exit the water. Adding native aquatic plants will further integrate your pond into the ecosystem, providing food and shelter for visiting species. Don't have room for a pond? No worries. A bird bath or a simple recirculating water fountain can also serve as vital water sources for wildlife. Bird baths are particularly effective and can be both a focal point in your garden and a lifeline for birds, especially during the dry months. To keep it inviting, change the water regularly and place it in a location that offers a safe vantage point for birds to survey their surroundings. For those looking to add a touch of whimsy, why not install a dripping water feature? The sound of dripping water is irresistible to many bird species and can be created with a simple setup involving a recirculating pump and some stones to mimic a natural spring. Remember, the location of your water feature is crucial. Placing it too close to busy areas can deter wildlife, while too secluded a spot might not attract as many visitors as you'd like. Striking the right balance is key to making your garden a wildlife haven. Adding a water feature not only enhances your garden's aesthetic, but it also provides essential hydration spots for wildlife. As the sun dawns on your wildlife-friendly garden, it's time to enjoy the fruits of your labor. The first rays of light awaken a symphony of chirps and rustles, a testament to the life that your garden now supports. It's not just about the vibrant colors of the flowers or the sweet scent of blooming plants, but about the hum of life that now fills your green sanctuary. Every bird that visits your feeder, every squirrel that finds shelter in your brush pile, and every butterfly that flutters around your water feature, they all contribute to the dynamic ecosystem that is your garden. The beauty of it all? It's a symphony you have orchestrated, a dance you've set in motion. Having a wildlife-friendly garden goes beyond the aesthetic appeal. It's about creating a small haven where nature can thrive, and in doing so you're playing a part in preserving our planet's biodiversity. And let's not forget the therapeutic benefits of being surrounded by nature's symphony. It's a place where you can find peace, tranquility, and an escape from the hustle and bustle of daily life. So, take the first step today and transform your garden into a sanctuary that nurtures both you and the local wildlife.